today's bayan, we spoke about durood, which is durood salat ala nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. ये जो बारिक अल्लाहुम्मा बारिक अला मुहम्मद, जो रोज़ाना हम हर नमाज में तकरीबन पढ़ते तो है ना, right? We all read अल्लाहुम्मा बारिक अला मुहम्मद व अला आलि मुहम्मद. या ये जो लफ्ज़ बरका है, the लफ्ज़ बरका, we always hear this word even when किसी के घर में बच्चा पैदा होता है, बच्ची पैदा होती है, तो हम दुआ के क्या देते हैं? What's the dua that you give when a person has a baby boy or a baby girl? Barakallahu laka fil mawhoob. Right? This is a dua. When anyone gets married, then what's the dua that we gave? Barakallahu lakuma wa baraka alaykuma. ये दुआएं रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने हमें सिखाए हैं कि जब किसी के घर में बच्चा पैदा होता, आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम बरकत के दुआएं देते थे. इसी तरह किसी की शादी होती तो आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम बरकत के दुआएं देते थे. तो बरकत, the word barakah, today we want to kind of unravel this word, because it's a dua, it's something that we keep on hearing again and again. Like many a times people give us duas. I remember our Ustaji rahimahullah, Hazrat Muhammad Rahim Sahab, one very famous dua Ustaji used to say कि अल्लाह ताला आपके जान में बरकत अता फरमाए, आपके माल में बरकत अता फरमाए, आपकी सेहत में बरकत अता फरमाए, आपके औलाद में बरकत अता फरमाए, अल्लाह ताला आपके वक्त में बरकत अता फरमाए, आपके इल्म में बरकत अता फरमाए. यानी this is something that they used to give, a dua that may Allah bless you in your life. Allah put blessing in your life, Allah put blessing in your health, Allah placed blessing in your wealth, Allah put blessing in your children, may Allah put blessing in your business. Right? So these are du'as that people give. But what is barakah? That's the question. What is barakah? Barakah is ajib. Barakah is so powerful that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam teaches us this dua. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to make this dua in the morning for barakah. That Allahumma inni as'aluka, not ilman. You just confused me. Allahumma inni as'aluka khayra hadha al-yawm wa fathahu wa nasrahu wa nurahu wa barakatahu wa huda. ये अजीब दुआ है. रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम रोजाना ये सुबह को ये दुआ पढ़ते थे. अल्लाह ताला हमें पढ़ने की तौफीक अता फरमाए. This is a dua which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to make every morning. Allah allows to make this dua. Allahumma inni as'aluka khayra hadha al-yawm. Oh Allah, I ask you for all the goodness of this day. All the goodness. Khayr. All the goodness of this day. So all the goodness that I can think of and that you know of, Allah, I ask you for this goodness today. Allahumma inni as'aluka khayra hadha al-yawm wa fathahu, and I ask you for conquest of this day. Yani when a person conquers a land, then all the goodness comes. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, yani any hardship comes your way, you need conquest from that hardship. Right? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to say, Allahumma inni as'aluka khayra hadha al-yawm. Oh Allah, I ask you for the goodness of today, of this day. Wa fathahu, and its conquest. Wa nurahu, wa nasrahu, and its help. I need your help. Wa nurahu, and its nur, its light. Wa barakatahu, and its barakah. I ask you for the barakah of this day. And wa huda, I ask you for guidance of this day. कि मुझे इस आज के दिन कोई बेराह न करे. No one should misguide me. So can you see, this is a dua that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made, and he also, this was an encouragement for all of us. हम जो है ये दुआ याद करें. क्या मेरे साथ पढ़े? Allahumma inni as'aluka khayra hadha al-yawm fathahu wa nasrahu wa nurahu wa barakatahu wa huda. कि अल्लाह मैं आपसे इस दिन की सबसे इस दिन की भलाई मांगता हूँ. The goodness. I will send it inshallah. I ask you for the goodness of this day. Allahumma inni as'aluka khayra hadha al-yawm fathahu, और इस दिन की फतह. व नसरहु, इस दिन की नुसरत, हेल्प, एड, व बरकतहु व नूरहु, और इस दिन की नूर और रोशनी, and the light of this day, व बरकतहु, and the barakah of this day, and व huda, and the guidance of this day. So मेरे अजीजों, the question is, what is barakah then? Back to our question, square one. What is barakah? Because we keep on asking for barakah. Another dua, I'm just going to share one more dua, inshallah, then I'll explain what barakah is. रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम जो है, हम जो कुनूत में पढ़ते हैं, अल्लाहुम्मा इन, क्या है कुनूत में क्या पढ़ते हैं? अल्लाहुम्मा इन्ना नस्तईनुका व नस्तगफिरुका. ये I'm not going to read the entire thing, I'll get stuck and then I'll get caught out. Right? So there was another dua. रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम और भी दुआएं पढ़ते थे कुनूत के लिए. एक दुआ जो मशहूर आपने शायद सुना होगा, वहाँ अरब ममालिक में पढ़ते हैं कि अल्लाहुम्मा हदिना फीमन हदैत व आफिना फीमन आफैत व तवल्लना फीमन तवल्लैत व बारिक लना फीमा आतैत. ये भी दुआ जो है नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम रोज़ाना सुबह को पढ़ लिया करते थे, और वितर में भी आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम कुनूत में ये दुआ पढ़ते थे. So if anyone wants to read this dua in the witr instead of the other dua, you can read it. You know, it's our duty as ulama to educate everyone कि ये भी दुआएं हैं, ये भी दुआएं हैं. वो बाज़ मर्तबा जो है ना, हम चूँकि मकतब में पढ़े हुए होते हैं, we learn one dua, right, and we think that that's it. So which means if anyone else reads any other dua, astaghfirullah, some nauzubillah kahe. Everyone say nauzubillah. Because our attitude becomes such कि कोई अगर इसके अलावा और कोई दुआ पढ़े तो वो गलत है, हालांकि नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने सिखाया है. किसने सिखाया? So नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने खुद वो दुआएं पढ़ी है. चूँकि हमारे लिमिटेड नॉलेज में ये है, मसलन हम रुकू में पढ़ते हैं, इन रुकू वी रीड सुब्हान रब्बियल अज़ीम. Do you know that Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam read more than 20 duas in ruku? Different duas. Not only Subhan Rabbiyal Azim. सजदे में हम पढ़ते हैं सुब्हान रब्बियल आला, तो सुब्हान रब्बियल आला से बहुत सारे, ये हमारे सहूलत के लिए उलमाए किराम ने हमें सिर्फ सिखाया था सुब्हान रब्बियल अज़ीम. वो भी हमें मुश्किल से याद आता है. वो कोई पढ़ता है सुब्हान रब्बियल अज़ीम और फिर सुब्हान रब्बियल आला, और it's true, isn't it? Right? Unfortunately, but imagine if we had to learn 20 duas, we'd say forget it, I'm not learning salah. So इसी वजह से हमें तो वैसे ही सिखाया. But anyway, barakah. What is barakah? So barakah is one of those complicated Arabic words which cannot really be translated. I'm going to be honest with you. Barakah वो एक ऐसे लफ्ज़ है कि जिसको हम हकीकत में it's difficult to just translate. You can explain it, उसको समझा सकते हैं, लेकिन उसका तर्जमा करना बहुत एक लफ्ज़ में, to find one word in the English language. उर्दू वालों ने तो हाथ उठा दिया कि हम उसके तर्जमा ही नहीं करेंगे, हम उसको बरकत ही कहेंगे, बरकत. राइट? सो बरका अरबी में है, उर्दू में हमने कहा उसको क्या कहेंगे? बरकत. राइट? सो उन्होंने पहले ही से हाथ उठा दिया. इंग्लिश वालों ने क्या किया कि उन्होंने तर्जमा उसका ये किया, ब्लेसिंग. राइट? सो यू नो इन इंग्लिश they normally translate barakah as blessing, but that's not really it doesn't do justice to the word barakah. Now for barakah, to understand barakah, one of the meanings of barakah, and I'm just explaining, I'm not translating. One of the things of barakah is when you have barakah in something, किसी चीज के अंदर जब बरकत आ जाती है, then उसको वो ज्यादा कर देती है. So when barakah comes into something, then it increases it. That's one meaning of barakah. Another meaning of barakah is that when barakah comes into something, it makes it extremely beneficial, really beneficial. So masalan खाना है, your food, खाने में बरकत भी है और बरकत नहीं है. Some people they benefit from their food and some people they don't benefit. This is why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam before eating would say Bismillahi wa barakatillah or Bismillahi wa ala barakatillah. There are different ways of reading this dua as well. So Bismillahi wa barakatillah. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to before eating कि मैं अल्लाह के नाम से मैं खाता हूँ और अल्लाह की बरकत के साथ. With the barakah of Allah, I am eating this. So what barakah does is, number one is when barakah comes into something, it increases it. Another thing barakah does, it increases its benefits. So an individual, when something, barakah comes into something, an individual is able to benefit from it. And the third thing is, when barakah comes into something, it brings in continuity. Continuity. Right, I'll explain with examples inshallah. Another meaning of barakah is that when barakah comes into something, it becomes it lasts for a very long time. तो मसलन आप ले लीजिए माल, wealth. When barakah comes into someone's wealth, at times it increases it, at times it doesn't increase it, but an individual is able to benefit from it in such a way as though he has so much. And at times that wealth, when it has barakah, then it's continuous, it never finishes. It never finishes. And at times it never even lasts, it doesn't even end. So barakah can come in wealth, barakah can come in someone's time. किसी के वक्त के अंदर बरकत भी आ सकती है. Sometimes a person has barakah in his health. So what that means, you can put all those meanings in. Sometimes an individual has barakah in his knowledge. So I'll give you an example of barakah in knowledge. Imam Bukhari rahimahullah, when did he pass away? I don't have money. I would have said, whoever gives me the date, I'll give you money. Let me see if I've got any. No, chala, bismillah. Molana Muzammil's children are here. They'll give the answer and then I'll get caught. I'll have to give the money. So, when did Imam Bukhari? Over 1200 years ago. Who was Imam Bukhari? You all know who Imam Bukhari is, right? Or you don't know? Because we're going to have a big problem now if you don't know who Imam Bukhari, rahimahullah. Nawwar Allahu marqadahu. Allah fill Imam Bukhari's grave with light, with nur. Imam Bukhari, he left this world over 1200 years ago. He was a man of knowledge. He compiled ahadith. He traveled from one country to another country just to learn the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then he compiled a book. The book was called Al-Jami' As-Sahih. Al-Jami' As-Sahih. He has compiled many kitabs, many books. But he compiled a book called Al-Jami' As-Sahih over 1200 years ago. To understand what barakah is, he compiled this book of ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam over 1200 years ago. Today, in every house there is a book called Sahih al-Bukhari. That is barakah. Continuity, never mind continuity, it will never end. That is barakah in knowledge. Have you seen this book? Where's Fadail A'mal gone? The Fadail A'mal was a book written by Hazrat Sheikh Zakaria rahmatullah alayh. One man from India. A normal man. Look at what barakah in knowledge is. He has written many books. One of the books that he wrote was Fadail A'mal. He compiled the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that encourages an individual to do a'mal. So there are ahadith which will encourage you to read the Quran. There are ahadith which will encourage you to perform salah. There are ahadith which will encourage you to do dhikr. So this is Fadail al-A'mal. I don't know if you've seen it or not. You would have seen it in every masjid. Most of the masajid. I traveled with my friends to Portugal once. Right? And we got there early to the masjid before Jumu'ah. And Allah bless them. I have some good friends, mashallah. I'm not good. But I have some good friends. So we got there early. So the masjid was quite, not in the best of state. It was quite dirty. So my friends, we've just landed from the airport. We went to the masjid. And, we've come out of a plane. And one of my friends said, hey, come on, let's clean the masjid. Right? Let's clean the masjid. So one of them was Mufti Dilwar Sahib. Right? Anyway, so we got the hoover and we started cleaning. And then we started sorting out the shelves. And there in Portugal, in a masjid, we found Fadail al-A'mal. Fadail al-A'mal. One man from India gathers a book of ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It attains so much barakah and acceptance that in every masjid that book is recited. And people have actually transformed their lives by reading this one book. That's barakah in knowledge. There's barakah in institutions. For example, look at the example of these institutes like Darul Uloom Bari, for example. You will, or there are many Darul Ulooms in the subcontinent where you will not find a single alim who somehow has some form of link with that Darul Uloom. This is barakah in institution. There are barakah in masajid as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about Inna awwala baytin wudi'a lin-nas lalladhi bi Bakkata mubarak. Allah says about Makkah Mukarramah, al-Masjid al-Haram, there is a masjid which has barakah, it is mubarak. People around the world till the day of judgment will go and visit Masjid al-Haram. That's barakah. So my dear friends, we need barakah in our lives. We need barakah in our health, in our wealth, in our life, in our children, in our relationship. We need barakah in our knowledge. We need barakah. How do we bring that barakah? That's the question now. I have only a few minutes, inshallah. In those few minutes, I need to share with you how we bring barakah in our lives. Because we are all in need of barakah from Allah. If Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made dua in every salah, Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim. Can you imagine? Every salah we read barakah. Oh Allah, place barakah. So what is barakah? We've already spoke about what barakah is. How do we bring barakah in our lives? Because I need it. You need it. Each and every one of us here needs barakah. One of the ways of bringing barakah in our lives, my dear friends, is developing yaqeen in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Iman is one thing, yaqeen is another. Yaqeen is to have firm belief and conviction, no doubt whatsoever, that everything is in the power of Allah. Everything happens from Allah. La ilaha illallah. There is no strength. I woke up today in the morning. I came out of the bed. This is from Allah. Not my organs. You know, science will teach you, you breathe because of this organ. You move because of these organs. Right? Yes, Allah has blessed us with organs, but these organs only function through the permission of Allah. That is yaqeen. That is yaqeen. That I believe that la ilaha illallah, absolutely nothing can happen without the power of Allah. The more yaqeen we have in Allah, the more barakah Allah will send in our lives. Study the lives of the Sahaba. There is a book called Hayatus Sahaba. Every person should read that book. You will see how Allah blessed the Sahaba, put barakah in their lives, in their health, in their wealth. You know, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made dua for barakah. Anas radiallahu anhu was brought. He was a young boy. He came, his mom said, Ya Rasulullah, I want him to serve you. I want him to serve you. So then he came, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave him dua. He made dua for him that may Allah bless him in his life. Yeah. This one Sahabi, Anas radiallahu anhu, was one of the last Sahabas to leave the face of this earth. Allah blessed him with so much. Allah put barakah in his age that he lived for over 100 years. Right? He buried over 103 of his own children, grandchildren. That's how much, it sounds sad, but he had so much barakah in his life that, he had the opportunity to see so many of his children. So he was the last of the Sahaba to leave. This is barakah. But how did this barakah come in the lives of the Sahaba? It was the yaqeen that they had in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one is yaqeen, my dear friends. There are so many ways for us to bring. One is dua. Like we need to make dua. When these du'as that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught us, we need to make those du'as for barakah. One of them was, Allahumma inni as'aluka khayra hadha al-yawm, fathahu wa nasrahu wa nurahu wa barakatahu wa huda. This is a dua Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam encouraged us to read every morning. Inshallah, we'll send it out. If you promise to memorize it, you'll learn it, inshallah. And then when you set out from the house in the morning, teach our children that yaqeen, that look, goodness, khair only comes from Allah. Happiness only comes from Allah. Everything, barakah will come from Allah. Okay, now there are other things that we need that we can do to achieve barakah and to attain barakah. One is the gift which Allah has given. Allah has blessed us with eyes. Allah has blessed us, with good health. Allah has blessed us with wealth. If we utilize it, we appreciate the blessings of Allah, Allah will put more barakah in it. So if I appreciate the knowledge that Allah has blessed me, how do I appreciate knowledge? I use that knowledge to help others. And let me just go on a tangent. I'm not going on a tangent now. One of the best ways to attract barakah from Allah is to make another person happy. For the sake of Allah. Not for other reasons. Dodgy reasons. Right? No. You make someone happy, you make someone's day, you help them, you assist them, you guide them, you help them financially. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will flood your life with barakah. Imagine a person who makes someone's day miserable. Imagine someone who makes someone's life hell. You go to school and you want to help someone rather than making their lives hell in school. Right? So if we help someone, Allah will shower our lives with barakah. So there are many ways, but I'm getting the eyes already. It's already 2 minutes over time. Right? So inshallah, I'll leave it at that, inshallah. But my friends, this is something that we really need to go for. Barakah. Haram takes away barakah. The disobedience of Allah takes away barakah from our lives. So haram is something that we need to, online, on site, wherever we are, we save ourselves from haram. Whether anyone is watching, whether anyone isn't watching, if we are doing haram on the side, right, and at the same time we're also, that barakah is seeping out, that barakah is going. And then you will have all the wealth in the world, but there's no barakah. And this is a problem. You have individuals who have the world, they have the wealth, they have the house, they have everything. The dream house, the dream life, no barakah, no happiness. No barakah, no happiness. So we need to get that barakah, and that's what we've covered. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill our lives with barakah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill our ages and our health, our wealth, and everything with barakah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen.